That. Why do you think that is? That Emmanuel Macron's administration wanted to lower the age of consent to 13? The people that are out there trying to say he was definitely 15, and I'm telling you he definitely wasn't 15 if you look at when he was actually in that play. Why do you think they're working to lower the age and trying to, I would say, trick, didn't work, but try to trick the French population into believing that they were doing it to support children? Why would Eric Dupond-Moretti concern himself as a person who represented pedophiles and came up with the definition of happy incest? Why do you think that as the Minister of Justice, he went about making sure that teachers would not be included in the definition?
I know, Candace, because he's a sinner and sinners sin. That's right, because we are all born and dead in our trespasses and sin, and we do sinful stuff. Some of them are really egregious. Some of them are just cheating on your taxes. But some of them are stealing staples from work. Some of them are nationwide clownery. But we do sin. There you go. I fixed the problem for you, Candace.
Of having power over a child. That seems strange to you? Is the whole world crazy? Or is what's happening right now in France insane? And like I said, making it even more insane is the fact that for the most part, the mainstream media has protected this couple until we blew the story up and things seem to finally be changing. By the way, I missed this, but back when Brigitte pummeled Emmanuel Macron, New York Post ran a headline detailing more things about their early affair when he was young. This was the headline. It was Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron's scandal-plagued relationship from student-teacher affair to the shocking physical altercation. Buried in that article, not really buried, it's kind of them just recounting how they got together. It's so creepy, right? I somehow missed this in the story, or maybe I didn't remember it until the New York Post did this deep dive about how young he was as a teenager and how things went down in this relationship. But this is a direct quote, ready, from the article. It reads, Brigitte's family found out about the affair in the summer of 1994 after they caught the two of them sunbathing around a pool at the home of the teacher's aging parents, according to a biography of France's First Lady called Brigitte Macron, an unfettered woman. The relationship between the straight A student and his literature and drama teacher caused an uproar. Locals sent anonymous letters to the headquarters of the storied chocolate and macaron factory run by Brigitte's family, denouncing the affair. Neighbors, friends, and foes also spit on the doors of the future First Lady of France, according to Brune, who's the author of that book. She wrote, quote, from one day to the next, her friends with whom she was planning a vacation refused to speak to her, she writes. Oh, great. I'm glad that somebody had a conscience when this was going down and realized it was weird. What are you doing at your parents' house with your student? Well, actually, what is the context of this? And by the way, I'm pretty sure I recall that she wasn't actually, that was another like early on live from the press, that she was his literature teacher. In reality, I think he had signed up for one of her drama courses. But what are we talking about here, guys? What's going on? What are you doing at a poolside at your would have been incredibly old parents' home? Who is okaying this? How is this allowed to happen? And then the parents have to move him out of town to avoid you. Again, any person that is defending this story, given everything that we have exposed, is someone that you probably should not be trusting. Because if we as a society cannot defend children, then we're not even a society. We're not even a society. In other news, I have some unexpected.
Okay, but I'm not trying to be, I hope this doesn't sound bad, but Emmanuel Macron is now a grown man. And he is married to his predator. He's married to his abuser, married to the cougar, whatever term you want to use. He's married to that person right now. So I'm not 100% certain who Candace is fighting, what child Candace is fighting to save in the Brigitte Emmanuel discussion. Now, if you want to argue that these laws are nasty work, if you want to argue that this behavior is totally diabolical, I'm right there with you. I'll sign that petition right along with you. But I still don't see how, therefore, Brigitte Macron as a man is the next logical step in this discussion. I don't get how you're getting there, Candace. And that's the part I think that's really starting to show me that she's not, I don't think she's as solid as she wants to be perceived, but we will see. Let's go.
Allies in France. And those allies are members of the LGBTQIA community. This really gave me a chuckle this weekend. Xavier Poussard tweeted this in an article published on the website of the French daily newspaper Liberation. That's a left-leaning one. Louis-Georges Tin, the creator of World Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, accuses Brigitte Macron of, quote, fueling the stigmatization of transgendered people, saying, quote, The judicial strategy chosen seems not only ineffective, as shown by the acquittals of Natasha Ray and Amandine Roy, but also counterproductive. By seeking to clear her name, Brigitte Macron is contributing, perhaps unwittingly, to reinforcing the idea that this rumor is inherently insulting and thus perpetuating the stigmatization of transgendered people. And it goes on to say, in this open letter, they write, we need you to recognize that this is not the way to go about the situation. They ask her to instead be like Hugh Jackman, who laughed when he was accused of being gay and said that he was an ally to gay people. They also cite Lady Gaga as an example and Michelle Obama as an example of how Brigitte Macron should be handling this rumor. They say just like considering it to be defamation is inherently insulting and it is further stigmatizing trans people in France. And they're asking her to stop this farce. Totally agree that this is a farce. I think actually you're right, because I believe that Brigitte is trans, and you are correct that her refusal to acknowledge this is definitely not helping the trans cause in any way. But it's
Candace, come on up here to the front of the church, baby. Come on up here. Do you make room for the idea? And I think I already know the answer to this, but Candace, do you make room for the idea that you are 100% wrong? Everything is wrong. Do you make room for that? And therefore, Brigitte Macron would be 100% correct in saying that she's not a female, not a male, therefore not supporting trans whatever's, because she's not. Do you make any room for that at all? Is there any room? You can make it as small as a percentage, fraction of a percentage if you want, or you can make it as big as you want. It doesn't matter. Do you make any room for the fact, Candace, that you could be dead wrong? All the wrong. Because I don't think she ever considers, I could be wrong about this. And I tell people all the time, like, hey, I could be wrong about a topic. If it's from the scriptures, you have to prove it to me from the Bible. I have to be able, show me the book, chapter, and verse in context. And I have to be able to come to the same conclusion that you come to without you trying to tell me what it means. If I read it and my comprehension skills are fairly decent, then I should come to the same conclusion that you do. Okay? But I'm willing to say, hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But Candace, I don't know if Candace is ever putting into her equation, mixing into her algorithm, I could be dead wrong about this. When we watch her on Piers Morgan, I do think it's back there. I just don't think she acknowledges it. It's kind of like that little, you have a thought, but you don't want to acknowledge it. And then eventually it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. I think she knows it, in my opinion. Let me get in here. Let's finish this up. Let's go.
Going to get interesting. Obviously, I was speaking with Piers Morgan this morning about everything and really saying to him, I think I expect it'll be out later today, that you don't want to be on the side of the Macrons. You don't, because there is no way they're going to be able to wiggle themselves out of this. It is my opinion that this was merely a PR move, because there are so many lies that are in that lawsuit that they just wanted to get out in front of it so that people would believe that I had lied in the series, that I had said things that they alleged that I said that I most certainly did not say. I view it as a PR strategy. Or the other option is they truly are so deranged that they believe that I am being funded by Russia or by, I think they said, Marion Maréchal, and by their enemies in France, their political enemies in France, which is an absolute nonsense. There's not even a shred of truth to that. They could be so far into a derangement that they think that by putting me through discovery, they're going to find messages or emails between me and their political opponents in France. They could be that wacky. People do start to believe their own conspiracies with time, especially when they've had so much control.
The irony of what she is saying right here is pretty interesting. Ma'am, you do realize that we can say the exact same thing about you. The exact same thing. Like, all it takes is moving a couple pronouns and names around. And ma'am, we can say the exact same thing about you. That's what I'm saying. I am waiting for that response where you say that they're wrong, where you say that they lied. I don't need the 6-part series. I want to see you tell them they're wrong. You did not send me a cease and desist, a redaction letter. You didn't send it to me. I never got it. She even tried to chum the pot by saying it went to an email that she didn't check when she first admitted that they got the letter. Okay. Then show us the email that they sent it to, spam@CandaceOwens.com. And that's where it went to. Show us that. And I don't need to wait till discovery. I want to see your response to the Macron's lawsuit.